Hello, beautiful yogis. Ashley here. Welcome to day 59 of the 75 Hard Yoga Challenge. Now, today's class is all about that hip mobility and deep stretching. So this is really your chance to slow things down a little and open up your body and give yourself some of that recovery after all the strength and the movement that we've been doing. So we are going to focus a lot on the hips, the glutes, and the lower body today with some longer holds, some deeper stretches, and really just intentional movement throughout the flow. And honestly, these classes, they always end up feeling so good by the end of them. So remember, don't force anything today. Just let your breath guide the practice, ease into the stretches, and allow yourself to soften into the flow a little bit. All right, you guys, go ahead and grab any props or pillows that you might need nearby, and let's get into it. All right, yogis, so before we get started, let's go ahead and set our intention, ground down into our breath. You can find hero pose or really any seated position that you feel the most comfortable with. But wherever you are, let's just bring the hands to the knees or thighs. Tail is tucked, belly is in. Reaching that belly button up and towards the rib cage. Shoulders up, back, and down, letting shoulder blades melt down the rib cage. And a gentle tuck of the chin, close the eyes. Feeling that spine lifting out of the pelvic bowl. Let's take a deep breath in. And a big sigh out. One more, inhale. Slow through the nose and big audible release. All right, and settle into the breath and just notice the breath as it is without shifting, altering it, or changing the breath. We're just going to take 2 conscious breaths here to draw our awareness to the current state of our nervous system. And now adding a little control and intention to that breath, finding the Ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Allowing that breath to scrape the back of the throat, even on your inhale, creating that audible breath. A few more Ujjayi here. And letting the breath soften you into your space, bringing you into the present moment. So everything from the day is melting away, and all that exists right now is the breath. Let's take one more Ujjayi breath. Grounded, centered into your practice, into the now. And now that you've arrived to your practice, to your breath, to this present moment, inhale, lift those arms above the head. And on that exhale, hands heart center. Set the intentions for your practice today. So what has brought you to your mat, and what are you cultivating in this time that we have together? Maybe today is about letting go and surrendering, finding flow. But it can be whatever you want it to be. And once you've set your intention, go ahead and send the energy down, grounding into the earth. Send it all the way up to the universe for manifestation and creation as those palms touch hands, heart center. And gently open up the eyes. Wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and find that tabletop. Bringing knees underneath hips, wrist underneath shoulders. 5 cat-cows to begin to warm up the spine and hips. Push the floor away, chin deep into the chest. And then inhale, peel that heart through the hands. Feel the stretch right where the rib cage starts to split. And then exhale, really tuck that tail as deeply under as you can, pressing the floor away as much as possible. Notice how that deepens the stretch, but activates those deep inner core muscles. And then peel that heart through. And again, push. And pull through. Really allow yourself to dive into the body, feel where you're stretching, where you're holding tension. Just build that mind-body connection and awareness. Push. Let's hollow out and round. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. Inhale, and we peel through. And exhale, find your neutral spine here. Let's thread that needle. Right hand plants, left arm opens. Really stack those shoulders. Try not to twist that arm here. So that thumb is in the direction of your crown. Your palm is facing, almost like you're trying to high five someone. Inhale, and then now exhale. Let's take that left hand behind the right. And now you're gonna notice that you're gonna kind of collapse here with that hand. So if you walk that right hand out a little more, then you can slide that left hand through a little deeper, drop head, shoulder down, and use that right arm to push as your anchor, deepening through your twist. And breathe through your space. And then using that kickstand hand, that one arm push up, come back to center, right back to stack. Left arm really reaching towards the ceiling. And then plant that left hand down. Open up that right arm. Feel your twist. And the hand can come to the hip too if that feels better for you, if you feel a lot of restriction in the shoulder. Inhale and then exhale. Take that right hand behind. So remember, we need a little more space, so walk the left hand out. Elbow up as you continue to slide that right arm through, drop head, shoulder down. This hand push so you can really deepen through your twist. And then one arm push up on that left side. Come back to center, stack, open up. Inhale and exhale. Take it right on down. Walk those hands forward. Let's take a puppy pose. So hands forward, hips stay nice and high. Drop maybe your forehead down, or maybe your chin, or chest and chin. Now I can't come all the way down because I have to be mindful of the microphone, but you can bring that chest down a little further than what you see here. And then inhale, slide on through, finding Sphinx pose. If you have to, slide those forearms just slightly forward. Peel the heart. Feel that lower back start to open. No slouching through the shoulders. Lengthen through the neck here. Okay? So we're pushing that floor away, softening through that lower back. Notice the spaces of the body that really just want to hold on but need permission to surrender. And then on the exhale, release, come up, elbows out to the side, lower down. Curl those toes. Hands to the outside of the chest, roll the shoulders back, tuck the tail, push it up, push it back, downward dog, or child's pose. And then inhale, come on up, finding that downward dog. Pedal out your dog here. Begin to warm up those hamstrings, calves. Pushing through that middle finger and thumb. Try not to slouch into those shoulders, but rise up out of them. And then exhale, little spinal wave. Come down onto those knees. Let's take a couple little hip circles here. Warming up through those hips and spine. Also warming up those wrists a little bit too. And then switch directions. See if you can really exaggerate here. And last one. And back into center. All right, finding that down dog once again. Pushing out of the wrist here. And then inhale, gaze between those hands. Slowly start to walk those feet forward. Inhale, take your flat back, halfway lift here. Try not to kink that neck, bring your chin slightly in towards the chest. And then on your exhale, we fold.
Slight bend in the knees, rounded through the shoulders. Take a little ragdoll here. Letting that upper body, the weight of the upper body just weigh heavy here. And then keeping that slight bend in the knees as we roll it to the top. Inhale, rise. Little mini back bend, pelvis forward, and tuck the tail, come down, Samastitihi. Finding your mountain pose. Let's make our way back down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Weight is in the toes. Deep belly breath and exhale, fold. Inhale, take a flat back, bend those knees, plant the hands, right foot steps, left foot follows. Knees and elbows bend, chest and chin. Slither back through a little baby cobra here and lower down. Curl the toes, push up, push back, child's pose. And then inhale, tabletop. Let's take another 2 cat-cows push. And peel. And push. And peel. And neutral spine, planting the right hand down, left arm reaches, thread the needle here. Go ahead and send that left arm behind the right. Walk out that right arm as you slide that left hand through more. Drop the head, shoulder down. Push, open up. And then inhale, come right back into center. Open it up. Exhale, plant the left hand down, open up the right arm. We're going to thread the needle on the other side. Slide it through. Drop it down. Head, shoulder. Push. Since this is the second time here, just notice if anything's shifting. And then inhale, come back into center. Exhale, plant the hand down, walk it out, take your puppy pose. Hips high, chest and chin down, or just forehead. Feel those shoulders start to open a little. And then exhale, slither it right on through. Take your Sphinx pose, opening up that lower back. And then exhale, elbows out, lower down. Curl the toes, hands to the outside of the chest. Tuck your tail, shoulders roll back. Push it up, push it back. Inhale, come back into tabletop. We're going to take those little circles again. Keep pushing the floor away. Try not to slouch in those shoulders. And switch directions. If you do find that this is a lot on your knees, you can always place a pillow underneath there or a folded blanket, or even just double up that mat a little bit here. Sometimes these can be a little bit hard on those knees. So just remember to honor your body. You don't have to work through pain like that. So discomfort, sometimes we push through a little bit depending on the level of that discomfort. But most of the time, we just want to kind of little encouragement, but then back off for the most part. All right, coming back into the center. And find your down dog push. And on your exhale, walk it forward. Take your flat back. So here the hands can be at the thighs, the shins, or even the floor. And fold. All right. Letting those arms be heavy. Take a little ragdoll here. You can keep that slight bend just like we did in round one, or you can try to straighten the legs, feeling the back body start to open a little bit more. Maybe you grab their elbows here this time, pulling down. Feeling the hamstrings, the lower back start to open. The more your weight shifts towards the toes, the more you feel it. And when we're in the holds, just notice the body. I want you to really notice the sensations. And maybe the thoughts that start to come up, if any. Maybe you're in total movement meditation. but ground yourself in your breath and in your practice. Release those arms, slide in the knees, round it through the shoulders, roll it to the top. Feeling each vertebrae stack one over top the other as you open up. Rise it to the top. Inhale, little mini back bend, pelvis forward, and exhale. Find your mountain pose. Samasthiti, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands. Right foot steps, left foot follows. Knees drop, elbows straight, back, chest and chin. Slither through, little baby cobra. Lower down. Curl the toes, push it up, push it back. And rest. And then inhale, we come up into our down dog. Picking up that right leg nice and high, finding that three-legged dog here, point the toe. Now notice what happens to the hamstring, the calf, the ankle. Maybe you slightly bend the knee, notice the difference in that leg and the knee ankle. Try to get that top leg, that right leg, really nice and high. And then inhale, draw that knee deep into the chest as you step that foot between the hands. If it doesn't make it all the way there, just walk it the rest of the way. No worries. Drop that back knee down. Finding that low lunge, peel the heart. Using blocks here if you need to, so try not to force the shape. If you find that the floor is a little too far and you have to maneuver the body to get those hands down, that's when you need a block. So peel that heart through. Back leg should be sloped. Knee should be in line with that ankle. And then inhale, we rise it on up. Exhale, cactus. And then straighten that leg, peel the toes up off the mat. Airplane arms back, fold. Inhale, we graze those fingers to the floor, but then the left hand plants, right arm continues, knee bends, spiraling open, flipping palm away from you. Again, like that little high five, thumb in the direction of the crown, open. Inhale, and then exhale, plant the hands down to the inside of the foot, heel toe that foot out wide, setting up for lizard lunge. Inhale, peel the heart through. You can release the back toes if that feels a little better on your knee. Staying up tall on those hands or dropping an elbow or two down for lizard lunge. Deepening in through the hips. Starting to really get to the heart of the hips here. The heart of the practice, opening up those hips. And then inhale, we come up, planting left hand down, opening up that right arm once more. Exhale, plant that the right hand down, open up that left arm, push that knee into the shoulder of the right arm. And then exhale, plant the left, open up the right one more time. Plant the hands down, open up that left one more time. And both hands plant. Curl the back toes, shift the hips back and fold. Inhale, come back through. Lean forward till the back knee starts to float. Stepping back foot forward. Malasana, lower down. Open up the heart. And plant the hands forward as we straighten the legs, wide fold, grab the elbows, pull down. Weight shifts towards the toes. Releasing the hands, inhale, rise it on up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. We're going to take that left foot, step it back. Right foot follows, lower down, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right into the other side, left leg lifts nice and high. Knee into the chest, drop that foot between the hands. Drop that back knee, settle the hip. And then on that exhale, we start to shift those hips back, peeling the toes. Take the arms back, airplane. Taking that half splits here. And then inhale, fingertips graze the floor, foot plants. Right hand stays down as that left arm continues to spiral open. Keep settling the hips as we spiral open. Inhale and exhale, take the hands to the inside of the foot. Heel toe that foot out wide. Peel the heart through. Setting up for that lizard lunge. And again, we're holding the pose to allow our body to open. Those hips can be really ornery and they have a tendency to really hold on tight. And so we hold the poses a little longer to give the body time to develop safety. So taking your safety and trust. So taking your attention into the spots that you notice that might be clinging on for dear life, just try to send a breath of surrenderance and relaxation to that space. Or maybe back off just a little until you can find that place that you can settle into. All right, dropping that elbow or two for that full-on lizard lunge. Deepening through those hips. And then exhale, come back up, planting that right hand down, left arm opens. Exhale, left hand down, right arm opens. So you're pushing that knee into the shoulder, shoulder into the knee to keep you from falling open. And then left arm open. And again, we rotate. Plant the hand down, last one. And hands down. All right. And exhale, shift the hips back. Toes can stay down here to get a nice top of the foot stretch, or you can always peel those toes off if that's a lot on the back of the ankle. So really it is your preference. This does require a lot of flexibility in the ankle to be able to do that. So maybe just guiding it there, working towards it, or whatever feels best for the body. And then inhale, come back through, peel the heart. Pick up the back knee, stepping that back foot forward, coming into our Malasana Yogi squat. Peeling that heart through. And if you're up a little bit higher on those toes, if the heel doesn't come all the way down, that's okay, it will with time. And then you could also place some blocks underneath to sit on to make it a little bit easier for you to get into your squat. All right, planting the hands forward, lean forward, start to straighten the legs, shifting the weight back towards the heels. And grabbing those elbows, pull down. Maybe this time sway side to side, maybe drawing a figure 8 here. If this makes you a little dizzy, then just skip that part. But let the head be heavy. And notice the stretches as you shift side to side. So again, we're developing awareness and mindfulness. So instead of just allowing ourselves to just zone right on out, we bring our awareness back to the present moment. So it's an active meditation. Meditation is not being asleep. Meditation is being present and aware as we're in those same brain waves as we are when we sleep. So it's like a conscious sleep. All right, releasing those arms. And then slight bend in the knees, round it through the shoulders, roll it all the way to the top. Inhale, lift. Interlace those fingers, reach. Shifting hips to the right, reach to the left. Inhale back into center, shifting hips to the left, reach to the right. Inhale back to the center, pelvis forward as we lift towards the ceiling, reaching out of the pelvic bowl. And then on the exhale, we fold. Inhale, take your halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Slight bend in the knees. We take the left foot, step it back. Right foot follows. Knees, chest, chin, lower down. Little baby cobra rise. Exhale down, curl the toes, push it up, and push it back. And then inhale, we come right on up, lifting that right leg nice and high, knee into the chest. Foot between the hands. Open it up, find your warrior two. Right into your reverse warrior. Inhale, and then exhale, extended side angle. Right elbow drops to the top of the knees. That left arm comes up and over. Settle in. Inhale and exhale, reverse it. We're going to deepen that extended side angle or stay with that elbow to the thigh. Maybe place your hand to a block or all the way to the floor as we spiral open. And then we reverse it yet again. Inhale, warrior two. Open it right into star. Inhale and exhale, cactus, hands to hip. And for Sarita, hinge at the hips as we fold forward. Wide fold. Roll the shoulders back. Almost like you're trying to squeeze those elbows together. Inhale and then exhale. Release the hands from the hip, placing them down to the floor. Look forward. Pushing the outer edges into the mat, the outer edges of your feet into the mat, almost like you're trying to pull that mat apart with the feet. Feel the engagement of that inner thigh. And then exhale, maybe you fold a little deeper. Opening up through those inner thighs, preparing ourselves for the next stretch. Inhale, we lift. And exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, pull the mat apart as we rise. Arms up. Left toe points in towards the corner of your mat or out to the corner of your mat. Heel is in. Exhale, Skandasana to the left side. Maybe you stay high or you drop it down. Spiraling right toes towards the ceiling. Now you'll notice that, well, for me at least, the first round, my heel always wants to be up. So be mindful of those little things because as you start to progress through your practice, you'll notice those things start to shift, even just a little bit. All right, inhale, we're gonna guide it on over to the other side, taking Skandasana on the right side. Feeling the sensation of the stretch. We're nice and supported here. And then inhale, reach back behind you, come back up. Finding that lunge with the knee up, peel the heart. Inhale, and on your exhale, we send it back, three-legged dog. Inhale, we're gonna take pigeon on this side, so that ankle crosses over to that left wrist, settle down. Now here, we don't need to worry about the shin being parallel to the top of the mat. That might come with time. It might not ever come. So we're not really worried about that, but we wanna make sure the knees pass the shoulder and the hips are square. We're sending this pelvis down and then the right pelvis back. Coming up onto those fingertips. Inhale, and then leading with the heart, elbows out. We come down. Let's take 5 spinal waves here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale up. And exhale down. Really getting long through the spine. Inhale and exhale down. 2 more. Inhale, rise. Exhale down. 1 more. Inhale, rise. And exhale down. Maybe this time we stay down. Rest. And then inhale, come on out. Settling the hip over to the right side, swinging that back leg on around. Let's take a seated twist. So left leg wraps around that right. This bottom leg can be bent or you can straighten it out if you find that that's a little bit too much for your hips. All right, inhale, hug that knee in deeply in towards the chest, sit up tall. Feel the stretch all along in that hip, that glute-like area. Inhale and exhale, reach back behind you, look over your shoulder. Inhale and exhale, let's take that counter twist. Inhale and exhale, coming back into center. We're gonna take cow facing pose. So crossing the leg all the way over, trying to stack those knees. If you find that this is really intense for you, and then you can straighten that bottom leg, we wanna make sure that the knee is falling away from us. All right. You can hold on to the feet as you lean forward, or we're gonna take eagle arms. Inhale, lift, right arm under left, either stacking elbows or that eagle arm. Inhale and then exhale, we fold. And 5, inhale, we rise, exhale, release it, cactus, fingertips pointing towards the body, lift that heart. Feel a deep stretch in those hips. Peel those fingers. All right, taking that top leg, hug it in. We're gonna swing it on around. Coming out, keep that knee gap sealed as we come back into our 3-legged dog. Inhale and then release it down to meet. Let's take that left leg nice and high. Knee in towards the chest, foot between the hands. Spiral the back heel down as we open it up into our warrior 2. Settle into warrior 2, shoulder blades together, gazing over that middle finger. Reverse that palm, reverse the warrior, take it back. Inhale and exhale, take that extended side angle with the elbow down to the knee. Really reaching through those fingertips to the corner of the ceiling. Pushing through the outer edge of the back foot. Inhale and exhale, we reverse it. Inhale and maybe drop your hand to the floor or block, or stick with the version that you've been doing. Inhale and exhale, reverse it. Inhale, warrior 2, right into star. Inhale and exhale, cactus, hands to hips, shoulder blades together, elbows in. Inhale and exhale, hinge at the hips, reaching through the crown, pulling them out apart with the outer edge of your feet. Breathe here. Feeling those inner thighs active but stretching. Notice your energy, your breath. Just allow yourself to be present in your space. And then exhale, release the hands to the floor. Take a little halfway lift with those wide feet. And then exhale, maybe come a little deeper to your fold. And then inhale, take that halfway lift yet again. Hands to the hips on your exhale. Inhale, pull them out apart, rise. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn those heels in, toes out, Skandasana on that right side. Settle in. Again, you can stay high or come all the way down, spiral the back toes up. So now notice how second time my heel is down. That seems to always be the case for me. Notice the shifts and changes that have happened in your practice. Do you feel a little bit more space in that ankle, or is it all in that inner thigh? Do you feel a little more confident in the stretch? Those things are all progress in changes happening in real time, even if they're subtle. Inhale, plant those hands down, just guide it on over to the other side. Skandasana on the left. And then reaching back behind, spiral it open, taking your lunge with the knee up. Inhale and then exhale. Plant that right hand down, lift that left arm. Exhale, take it down, step it back, three-legged dog. Inhale, it's setting up for that pigeon. Take that left ankle to the right wrist, drop it down. You might have to slide that knee out. So again, if it's inside the shoulder girdle, you're too close in and you're gonna feel more boxed off and you're gonna feel like the pose isn't as accessible to you as it is. The more that knee starts to go beyond the shoulder, the more you're gonna start to notice that that hip has room to settle in and you'll be able to get more comfortable into your pigeon pose. All right, coming up onto those fingertips, roll the shoulders back. Send the pelvis down, lead with the heart. 5 spinal waves, elbows out. 1. And exhale 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And then maybe we settle all the way down, resting into your pigeon. And then inhale, we come on up, settling the hip down towards the left. Swing that back leg on around, taking your seated twist. So here we're hugging again that knee and sit up tall. You can take a bind if you'd like. Inhale and then exhale, deepen through. So if you want to take that bind, you're just trying to slide that hand through. Maybe take a clasp. And 5. On the exhale, we take that counter twist. Looking over the left shoulder. Inhale back into center, stacking those knees, taking that cow facing pose. All right, so I always kind of wiggle into it. You might have to do the same. All right, inhale, lift those arms. Exhale, hands down, left arm under right. We're either stacking elbows, reaching for the back of the shoulders, or taking that full-on eagle arm. Inhale, sit up tall. Inhale and exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise it up. Exhale, release it, cactus. Fingertips point in towards the body, heart lift. Inhale and exhale, peel those fingers up off the mat. Rise it up and come right on out. So we're gonna hug that in, squeeze it around, knee into the chest. Find that three-legged dog yet again. Drop it down. Inhale, gaze between those hands. Slowly start to walk those feet forward. Keep pushing the floor away like you're going to go into handstand. Really developing strength in the shoulders. Why not? You know, you're already there. Roll the shoulders back. Take your halfway lift. And your fold. Slight bend in the knees, rounded through the shoulders. We rise to the top. Inhale, lift, interlace those fingers, reach out. Go to the left side. Inhale and exhale to the right side. Inhale, slight little mini back bend, pelvis forward, reaching towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release it, coming back into Samastitihi, that mountain pose. Inhale, bring the hands into prayer. We're going to take that right ankle, cross it over the left knee, settle into the hips as we find our figure 4 chair. This is to get into the hips. Now, if this is a little too intense, you can always just take your tree pose. But this one is intended to open up those hips. And then exhale, release it, empty it out, rise it to the top, interlace those fingers, reach, nice long through the spine. Hips to the right, reach to the left. Inhale back into center, reach to the right, hips go to the left. Inhale, rise it to the center, pelvis forward. Keep reaching towards the ceiling, lengthening out of the spine. And then exhale, coming right into that figure four chair on the left side. Settle in. So we're still focused on flexibility. We're still focused on recovery and lengthening through the body. Even though this is a little bit of a power pose, we still want to focus on releasing, surrendering, and letting go. All right, release that figure four chair. Rise it up to the top. Inhale. Interlace those fingers, leaving thumb and pointer out. Exhale, reach to the left side as you send your hips to the right. Inhale, back into center, reach towards the right side as the hips go to the left. Inhale, back into center. And pelvis forward, heart lift. Exhale, we take it down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, slide bend in the knees, look forward, plant the hands, right foot steps, left foot follows, knees drop, elbows straight back, chest and chin. Slither through up dog or baby cobra. And right back down. Curl the toes, push it up, push it back, child's pose. And then crossing those ankles, coming right into a seat. Sling those legs forward. All right, let's take a forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, reach. Four, we got one more breath. And five, roll it on up to the top. All right, bending that right knee, we're gonna take that right ankle over the left knee. Figure four here. Inhale, rise. Exhale, reach for that foot. So if you struggled with this in chair, then maybe this will be a little bit more accessible for you. So you can kind of try it out. See if you can send your pelvis high. So a tuck of the tail this way. So it's reaching up. And collapse it. And then inhale, we come up. All right, this bottom leg can stay straight and we're just working on opening up that hip, or we're going to try and stack those logs. This is also a deep hip opener. All right, so stacking those knees. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, maybe you place those forearms down, lean forward, stretching into the hip a little deeper. And breathing through the pose. See if you can find comfort in the discomfort. Can you breathe through it? Even if everything in you is telling you to run, to get out of the pose, can you stay? Can you breathe? And as we get deep into these hips, a lot of emotions might arise. They might bubble to the surface. You might start to feel anxiety, nervousness, anger, sadness, all the things. And just breathe through them. We're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. I like to hold this one for about 10 breaths because it takes a lot of time for the body to let go. Same with the pigeon pose. The body likes to guard and protect it. Perfect. And then exhale. Let's gently come right on out of that. So slowly let your body unwind. Reach it up. Let's take one more forward fold here. Just a couple breaths. And then roll it to the top. All right, bending left knee, crossing left ankle over right knee. Let's take that figure four. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. And rise. And exhale, settle it down. All right, stacking those logs. Opening up through those hips. You can also place a block in here if that feels like your body needs it. Inhale, lift, and exhale, maybe settle down forward. Resting those forearms on the shins to give a little bit more of a gentle push. Remember, we're going to set here for 10 breaths. We've already been here for about 2. And 3. Again, focusing on releasing and letting go. Yes, it's probably uncomfortable, but life, there's a lot of things in life that is uncomfortable. And it is not about finding comfort, it's about finding that comfort in the discomfort. Allowing ourselves to learn how to breathe and surrender and let go, even when we're in an uncomfortable situation, without having to run or remove ourselves from it. Keep breathing, almost there. And exhale, come right on out. We're going to assist our body out of the stretch. Straighten those legs. Okay, so this time for real, this one is the last Paschimottanasana. And reach. Just a breath or two to re-lengthen the legs here and release it. All right, draw the soles of the feet together. Last stretch seated. We'll take the last couple on our back. So we're gonna take that butterfly pose, or the Baddha Konasana as we call it in yoga. We're gonna draw those heels in. And then here, thumb down, pinky toe, open the feet like a book, elbows in towards the body, heart lifts, we fold. And then inhale, we rise it on up. Bring those knees together. Make your way onto your back. Tucking the tail under. Draw those knees in towards the chest. And then exhale, drop those feet down. Taking that figure 4, push the knee away. Drawing left knee in towards the chest. Notice how open the hips are now. Rocking side to side, massaging that lower back. We're only going to be here for a couple more breaths. And exhale, take it on down. Let's take a little twist. Cross the leg, goalpost tee the arms, pick up those hips, shift them to the right, knees drop to the left. We're not going to be here for very long. Just feel that stretch along the outer thigh, the glute, the chest, the shoulder, spine. And then exhale, squeeze at your core, protecting that lower back. Come back into center and release it. Taking that figure 4 stretch on the left side, open up that knee, push. Draw that right knee in towards the chest. The more that right knee comes in towards the chest, the deeper that stretch becomes. And then exhale, drop it down, send that leg all the way over, goalpost or tee those arms, pick up the hips, shift them to the left, those knees drop to the right, gaze over that left shoulder. And then squeeze it right back into center, pick it up, give yourself a big hug. And then exhale, happy baby, grabbing arches, push knee down towards the floor. Or grab behind those knees if the feet are a little inaccessible. And part of the yoga practice is the learning how to listen to your inner intuition. Your body already knows what it needs. It already has that intuition built in. The problem is that the mind gets involved and convinces the body that it doesn't know what it's doing, or it questions what the body already knows. So in yoga, I invite you in your practice, in your movement practice, to just listen to the body, explore where it's trying to guide you. That's honestly how they found the 8 sacred poses. So there are 8 foundational yoga poses. And that is how they said they found those poses, was just by listening to the intuition of the body and just letting it guide them where it wanted to go. And that is actually how all the other 400 and some odd yoga poses were born later on through yoga's journey. All right. Anyway, moving on. Draw those knees in towards the chest. And giving yourself a big hug here. And since you're already giving yourself a hug, you might as well tell yourself something nice. Reminding yourself that you're doing a good job and you're right where you need to be. And there's nothing that you need to fix within you. It is just shedding those layers that no longer serve you so you can embody that highest version of yourself. All right, let's take that energy with us into our Shavasana. Drop those feet down. Tucking that tail deeply under. Actually, you know what? Let's take a good morning stretch before we move into Shavasana, just to decompress that spine. Lift those arms above the head, point those toes. And then exhale, open it up into your Shavasana. And if you find that this created a lot of lower back tension for you, then just bend those knees, flatten out that spine, tucking that tail deeply under. And then just let your right leg straighten before you release that pelvic tilt. And then straighten your left leg. And now just melt into your Shavasana. Releasing what is no longer serving you. Melting into your mat. Full surrenderance here. Letting go. Releasing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Relaxing the jaw and unfurrowing the brow. Bringing full awareness to your breath. See if you can focus on the breath so much that nothing exists in this moment but the breath. All other sounds, sensations, and thoughts seem to drop off, fall away. And all that is left is the awareness of the breath. Becoming the breath. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. That is the job of the mind. Just simply acknowledge the mind has now wandered. And with love, kindness, and patience, with no emotional attachment or movement at all, bring that awareness right on back to the breath. I'm going to leave you in silence for a few moments. This is your time, just for you. Enjoy it.
Now, wherever you've begun to drift off to, come back to the body, come back to the breath. If you'd like a longer Shavasana, you're more than welcome to press pause. Otherwise, follow me. Let's begin to wiggle those fingers and toes. And then rolling the wrists and ankles. And then now bending your knees and elbows. Rolling over onto your favorite side, resting your head on your arm like a pillow. Settling into your new shape here. Allowing that energy to melt into your mat. And then whenever you're ready, extend that top leg, using that top arm to press yourself to that nice comfortable seated position. Try to keep your eyes closed here so you don't disturb that peace that you've worked so hard to create. And then once you've made your way to your seat, bring the hands to the knees, but let the palms face up here for that mudra of receiving. So we're signaling that full spiral outward, coming back to the point that we had started, but in a different version of ourselves, a little lighter, a little more present. Take a deep breath here. And a big sigh out. Let's try that one more time. And settle into your space. Maybe even allow a smile to make its way over your face. Feeling the energy a little lighter now that you've created space in the body and in the mind and in all layers that are you. And then inhale, lift those arms above the head. On the exhale, hands heart center. And now from that place of awareness, set the intention for your day today. So how will you continue to practice yoga even well beyond your mat in the physical practice? What seeds are you planting? What are you cultivating in your life today? Once you've set that intention for your day, go ahead and send the energy down, grounding it into the earth. Send it all the way up to the universe for manifestation and creation as those palms touch, hands heart center, sealing this space with our mantra. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be peaceful, may I be filled with love. May all beings throughout time and space be happy, be healthy, be peaceful, be filled with love. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. All right, awesome job as always. Thank you so much for joining me. It really is such a pleasure and an honor to guide you along this beautiful journey. And I know I say it every time, but I really do appreciate your time and your energy and just all of your support in showing up. And I'm so proud of you, especially if you've been joining me since day one. We are on day 59. It still blows my mind every single class. I cannot believe how close we are to day 75. I'm so super proud of you for sticking with it and being consistent. If you haven't been practicing since day one or you're just now joining us, definitely go back into day one, join the challenge with us. I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you have been enjoying it, but you have not yet subscribed, please make sure that you do hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new class. And it also really helps out the channel. All right, so again, thank you guys so much. It was so wonderful. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Same mat, new challenge. Namaste.